back to Rating the List, where we review, discuss, and reimagine popular movie lists objectively. We're your hosts. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad. And on this episode, we're going to be exploring number 79 from AFI's 100 Years, 100 Passions, the top 100 love stories of all time.
All right, at number 79 is Jezebel, released in 1938, directed by William Wyler, starring Bette Davis and Henry Fonda.
Yep, so the synopsis for this romantic drama is as follows. In 1852 New Orleans, spoiled Southern belle Julie Marsden, played by Bette Davis, is engaged to banker Preston Press Dillard, played by Henry Fonda. She shows up while Press is in an important meeting trying to invest in railroads and supporting Dr. Livingston's plea for measures to avoid another yellow fever outbreak. In retaliation for refusing to leave the meeting to attend her final fitting, she buys a brazen red satin dress to wear to the Olympus Ball, where unmarried women are expected to wear white. At the ball, her outfit is met with shock and disgust. She begs Press to take her away, but he forces her to dance while all others leave the dance floor. He takes his leave of Julie, implicitly ending their engagement. She slaps him in a final act of spite. Her Aunt Belle urges her to go after him, but she refuses, insisting that he will return. Instead, he goes north on business. A year later, Press returns to a homecoming party in his honor at Halcyon Plantation, Julie's estate. Aunt Belle can't find Julie in time to warn her Press is married. Wearing a luminous white dress, Julie humbles herself, begs his forgiveness, and a return of his love. All Press can do is introduce her to his wife, Amy. Julie eggs on longtime admirer Buck to quarrel with Press, but the scheme goes awry. Press's inexperienced brother Ted is goaded into challenging Buck and is ultimately killed during a duel. As Dr. Livingston foretold, a yellow fever outbreak arrives and the city is quarantined. Press is stricken and to be sent away to the leper colony on Lazaret Island. When the wagon comes, Amy begs to go with her husband, but Julie tells her she isn't equipped to fight for him, unable to understand Creole or the customs in Louisiana. Julie begs to go to redeem herself. Amy asks if Press still loves Julie, and Julie tells her he only loves his wife. Amy blesses them, and Julie boards the wagon with Press and other victims and caregivers.
Woo!
A lot going on in this movie.
A lot going on. Again, what we just talked about, right? She's independent, or on our last episode, she's an independent woman. She's fighting against, standards that she feels are out of date. And she, makes this big statement by wearing red to this ball, and it backfires on her, right?
Yeah, I think this one, to me, the trope is a little different. So to me, this is the Southern Belle trope, because I think they always write the Southern Belle, just like you're saying, but then they're always they're like that, but they're secretly insecure and really don't want to really go up against tradition too much. What they really want to do is challenge the guy.
Yeah, that's true. You can make that argument, because she does do that quite a bit.
To me, all of her motivations are about challenging Press.
And selfishness.
She's extremely selfish.
Yes. And, it's a very sad movie. Mm-hmm. It's very sad. She's super manipulative.
Yeah.
And she basically, karma comes back on her.
Yeah, she really doesn't figure it all out until it's almost too late.
It is too late.
We don't know if he even makes it. They're sending him off to a leper colony, and he's sick, and we don't know what's going to happen to her too. I mean, she could catch it herself.
They're both dying.
It's like they're both going to die on this island. She's resigned herself that if she can't be with him, then she is going to give up her life and
take care of him.
Which, I mean, there's a nobility in that, but it also didn't need to be that way.
Right. She thinks that, I mean, if you think about it, right, she's sacrificing herself to take care of him. However, she is still getting her man.
Right. In a way.
Right?
Yeah.
So we don't know if she's purely doing this out of atonement and reflection, or if she's doing this and just being her regular self, being selfish.
I think the performance kind of gives you the answer. I think she is contrite. I think that conversation she has with Amy at the end kind of tells you that, I need to be a better person, and I can't let this woman die with him. I'm going to do it and let her, let her have that kind of memory of her husband as a healthy man and not seeing him on his dying, deathbed.
Oh, see, I didn't get that.
I didn't get that. That girl's a bitch.
I mean, she has been through the whole movie.
I know.
You know?
She's pretty terrible. What a great performance, though, by both of them. So
Bette Davis, man.
Wow, she's really great. And
she's so good.
Gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
Like, I'm kind of more used to her, like...
Older,
and, later in life, and go back and you're like, wow, she's stunning.
She's very stunning. And, I tell ya, black and white, man.
That makes
makes everybody look flawless.
Makes everything look good. The only problem with this one being black and white is you don't get the effect of the red dress.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you don't really see the contrast.
They tell you it's red, but really it just looks like a really dark gray. And so you don't get the whole, oh my God, the scandal of her wearing this non-white dress to this, this Southern traditional dance. So, you don't get the full effect of that. They have to tell you, which isn't as effective as seeing it, but they obviously have to tell you because you can't see that it's a red dress. So,
I do have to say, like I've said before, with like black and white older movies, sometimes I have a hard time staying engaged. But with this movie, I was very engaged.
Yeah,
it was really good.
It looks really great. The sets look really great.
Yep.
Like, you really get a sense of, the opulence that these people live in this, high society of New Orleans.
Like aristocrats.
It's very, you get that very kind of, you don't really see the lower end of society in this movie. It's really...
you kind of do.
A little bit.
Not lower end, but, they do show a lot of the, I don't know if they're slaves at that time.
Yes.
Okay, so they do show slaves quite a bit in this movie.
Slaves and servants.
And servants, and, singing, and...
Yeah, I mean, this is only, less than a decade away from the Civil War, so yeah, then Louisiana was, part of the Confederacy. So, a lot of really interesting stuff in this movie. This is the first time on this list we will see him again, but this is the first time we see Henry Fonda. So we've seen his daughter. Very good in this. Seen his daughter Jane on this list, and actually, I think our next movie, has her on it.
Yes.
So we've seen her once before. Another one of these like acting royalty families. So Henry Fonda, just a great actor. Both of his kids. Jane is a great actress. She's still around. Peter Fonda was a really good actor, and Peter's daughter Bridget is a pretty decent actor. She hasn't worked in a really long time, but she's had some pretty memorable roles. So you got a 3-generation family there. That was kind of like the era of Henry Fonda. They're like that late kind of late 30s to the mid 50s. He's in just a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Really prominent roles. Like, he was a really big deal.
I feel that if this movie was in color, that I don't know where the Academy Awards were at this time, but the costumes looked really beautiful.
Yeah.
And even if they were in black and white, they were still really stunning.
Well, they when you're shooting in black and white, you tend to the way that things look is different. So the textures and things like that. So it does picks up light, and you can kind of get the contrast. You see that now that they shoot digitally instead of on film. The way the costumes are done is a little bit different now because the digital camera picks things up differently than a film camera does.
I see.
So it's always like part and parcel. It's all part of it's all part of the art.
Production in this movie was
Production
really
design
amazing.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
It's a very good movie. It's a different type of love story.
It's a different type of love story, but AFI, way to go! You're starting to like really see actual love stories.
Yay!
So some of these first,
they were stretching.
Yeah,
that was a big stretch.
Some of these first 25 or so movies were really, really stretching to call something a love story per se, but this is a true love story. I mean, when we start out, they're engaged to be married, and then even after he's engaged to Amy, and they have a couple scenes, you can see that there is, I don't know necessarily regret.
Oh, well, I mean, and he and she starts trying to sabotage their marriage. That's like big deal.
Yeah, and it's just there's something there where he's just like this could have gone different.
Yeah.
I don't think
I think he regrets
how
her actions. I think that he feels that.
I think he regrets his own too. I mean, it was pretty cruel that dance sequence where he kind of forces her out there to.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted to wear this red dress and make a statement? We're going to make a damn statement now. And, takes her out on the dance floor and makes the pianist play a song again. And it's just them out on the dance floor. So everyone is looking at her in this red dress. And she wants nothing but to run away.
Yeah.
And he won't let her. He makes her live in it. So, her actions kind of drove him to a little bit of lunacy to do something like that. Yes. And you get the impression that this is the last in a long line of petty shit that she's done during their relationship that has probably just driven him to the edge. And her kind of trying to interfere in this really, really important business deal. So one of the undercurrents of this is, he's making, he's trying to do this business deal where he's trying to make the point of, hey, the North is already doing this, and they are going to pass us by. It's a little bit of a, like when the history, he's kind of forethinking. One of the reasons that the North really, won the Civil War is because of train transportation and being able to do those kinds of things. They could just deliver things to the front lines. They could deliver food, weapons, people. They were just more efficient. They were a more efficient economy, and that's where he was trying to get the South to be. Was we should be investing in railroads in the South. So he was already forward thinking with that kind of stuff, and this was a really big deal. And he was trying to make his point, and she's trying to barge into his meeting, so he has to leave the meeting while he's trying to like get money and stuff like that, and it just pisses him off, rightfully so.
Yeah.
So this isn't the first time they've gone through this, and I think he just hit the end of his rope, and which happens sometimes.
He was like, okay, that's enough.
He didn't handle it well, but you kind of understand how he got there.
Yeah.
And you also understand when he comes back that he doesn't want to hurt her.
No.
He's not bringing his wife to rub it in her face. He is married now, and his wife
goes where he goes.
And he wasn't planning to, he didn't know about this invitation until he arrived in town. It was, we're throwing you a party, so it's like,
okay, I guess I have to go.
I guess I kind of have to go. So, really good movie. I enjoyed it.
It was good.
It was good.
Surprisingly so.
Yeah. So I gave this one a 72. Jerry gave it a 78. So the list gave it a 75, which again is a pretty high score for these kinds of things. Again, there's diversity issues with this movie. Most of the people of color are simply slaves and don't really have a whole lot of input into the story. But it's kind of appropriate for the time period and the story, so you can't knock it too much. But anyway, I think that's all we have to say about number 79, Jezebel.
Yep, I think we're good with that. Yeah. Check it out. Where did we watch it on?
I believe we watched this one on Amazon.
Okay. Yeah, check it out. It's very interesting. It's a good movie. Check it out if you have some time. Yeah, I think that's it. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We would like to reach as many of you as possible. And we'd love to get your feedback. So, please reach out.
All right. So I am Brad.
And I'm Jerry.
And we're rating the list.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Bye.